Hello guys, welcome back to Pictorial Innovations, and if you are new here, a warm welcome to you as well. I promised to always do a new flyer design at the end of every month, but last month I couldn't make any videos for you guys because I had a lot of flyer design projects I had to deliver. I sincerely apologize, and maybe it's that time I started making business friends to outsource flyer design projects too. Well, that's a talk for later in this video. If you watch this video to the end, you might get a piece of information on how we can become business friends. And please, if I forget to mention it later in this video, put it in a comment to remind me. So like I always say, I promise to always do a new flyer design at the end of every month, and here is a creative one for February. I make sure I try different layouts on this background I made for you. So in case you don't want the first layout, you can go with any other layout or create yours on this background, and also with your brand or client brand color. You can learn how to create this yourself and or download the 3 PLP files to edit to your taste or your client taste. Feel free to use them because as one of my active subscribers, you've earned it. As you all know, all the resources I used in this video will be linked in the description. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification to be notified whenever I upload new videos. Without any further ado, let's get started. So here's our page. If you are new to PixelLab, you are welcome. So here's our first thing you see when you log into your PixelLab. This is what you see. Then you have to create a new canvas. No, you can actually delete this from here by clicking on this and delete this, but actually time taking. It's a thing you can just scroll down and click on this blank canvas. Click on it, then you have a clean slate. So you go to this fourth guy here, because most of the time when I design, I change my size before I design. But if you forget to change your size before you design, you can change it at the point of exporting your project. So this is image design. At this fourth guy here, go to image size. So I use 3840 by 3840 so that I can 3840 so that I can have something clear and crisp. Click OK. So we have something like this. So the first thing I want to do is still on this same guy. I want to go to color because I don't want to use white background. So I want to go to color and I want to click on plus here. So you can actually choose a color from the color spectrum here. You know, you change the hue, the saturation, the transparency and everything. But because I've experimented with a particular color before and I have the code with me, I can come to this pen tool and edit the code. The second color picker you see here, it's if you have an image dropped on your canvas, you can click on this. Then whatever it is you have dropped in your document will be here. You can click on it and you can pick any color and it will show here. But because we don't have anything we want to pick any color from, so I would rather input my code to save us time. So click on this pen tool and input the color code ED1404. Then you have to click on this check mark before you click OK. If you click OK, it will go away without applying it rather. So click on this, then you have the red here. Click OK. Then you can click OK here. So we have our first color here, which is our background. So from this fourth guy, you go to this third guy because we want to create a kind of gradient, a radial gradient here. So go to shapes. We have the square shape. Click on this guy, then you can change it to circle shape. So we have to go to gradient. Go to gradient and click on this plus sign as we usually do. So the next thing you want to do is to go to radial gradient type. So we have this here. We have the outer color and the inner color. This is the outer color. Click on this color picker. Color undo, because we have this, we have this. This is for the outer. You can see the black. This is the black. Click on this color picker. Color undo. Then click on this color picker too. Then we want to decrease the transparency because we don't want any color there. Click OK. We have something like this. Then you can bring it in to fade it in a bit. So click on this second color undo. Click on this color guy. Then let's input our color code F89730. Okay, okay, then we have something like this. So you can still move this in to give it a kind of radial. So let's leave this one here and this one somewhere around this side, then click OK. We have something like this. Yes, it's small. Just click OK. Then the next thing you want to do is to start increasing it, scaling it up. So let's scale it up that we can have something like this here. So we have something like this here, or you can scale it up if you feel like you still need to scale it up. So we have something coming from this side. Can you see it has given it a different feel here? So you can go to where you manage your layer and lock it in place, because if you don't lock it in place, you cannot click any other thing and you cannot import any other thing to your document. So go to where you manage your layer. This is the button you use to manage your layers. If you click on it, the panel will come at the left corner of your screen. Then you'll be able to lock it. This is the key to lock it. As you can see, it's obvious. When you click on it, it's locked. Then if you click, you cannot move it from where you placed it. So the next thing you want to do is to import our background image. Go to import. This is the import. It must be on this third guide. If you are new to PixelLab, I believe all the pros amongst us know that if you go to this third guide, you'll be able to import your image. But if you forgot to lock it in place, you might not be able to see this import. So click on import and let's import the indoor background. So we have this background here. Don't worry, we don't need this other part, only this part we need. So just click on this one by one, then let's move it here a bit so that we have something like this. So just click OK. Then you can go to relative size here. Is that you go to relative size or you scale from here, but most of the time I just go to relative size and I increase to 100. It fills my page. Then I click OK. So the next thing we want to do is to decrease the opacity. Make sure you are still clicking on it. Then go to this third guide. You are still on this third guide. Go to opacity and let's decrease the opacity to something like this. I think 23 is okay. Click OK. Then let's go to color filters. So let's change the hue to be looking at what you are changing, because as you are changing it, you are seeing the effect here. So I don't want to go too far. Let's do 20. Then let's do saturation 18. You might not see the effect truly because we have decreased the opacity, but you can still see something is changing. So let's do 49, or 49 is good because of our text. We are still going to put text here. So let's click OK. So we have something like this. So you can go to where you manage your layer and lock it in place. So we have something like this. We can actually start work like this, but there's still one more I want to impute. So go to import and import the second background. So we have this one already. So just click OK. Go to relative size, increase to 100. Click OK. Go to opacity. Let's decrease the opacity to something like this. Yeah, I want it to give it a different effect here. If you go to this side, hide it, you see something really changed. You can actually leave it like this or you add this. Depends on what you want, but I want this. That's why I'm leaving it here like this. So I want to go to color filter and tweak it a bit. So let me give it saturation. Let me do something like this. So let me decrease the brightness. So I have something like this. So I can lock it in place also. So the next thing I want to bring the couch. So import the couch. So here's the couch. So just click OK. Then you can go to relative size, increase to 100. You can bring it down like this. So I want to move it and increase it from here. So I want to drop it here. So the next thing I want to do is to go to color filter. The reason why we are going to color filter and tweaking this color and everything is because we don't want it to be distinct from the background. We want it to blend with the background and go with the flow. So I want to change the hue to something like 6. So let me give it saturation. So it's the saturation that will really do the magic. Let me give it like 56. 56 is fine. So let me decrease the brightness a bit. Let's do 26. Then you can increase the contrast. Let's leave it at 20. I think I love it this way. So I'll click OK. Then let me move it a bit like this. So it's fine this way. Go to where you manage your layer and lock it in place. So we have something like this. It's starting to get beautiful. So let's import our model. Let's import the first model. Go to import and import this beautiful couple. So you can crop it a bit like this. Crop it like this. Then click OK. So we have them here. So we can increase. Let's increase them like this. So we have something like this here. So you can check the relative position to see if it's centralized or if you want to reposition yourself. Where I just went now, in case you are using PixelLab for the first time, I click on the image, then I went to relative position. Here you can centralize or put it in the middle, left, right, bottom, up, and everything like that. So from here you can do that. So I have my model here. So let me leave them here. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to go to color filter again because I need to blend them. So color filters. So let's change the hue to 6. Let's change the saturation. The saturation shouldn't be too much. 8 is fine. So let's change the brightness to maybe 6. Let's do 6. As you are increasing whatever it is you are increasing, and make sure you are checking your model. So let's do this brightness. Let's do for the contrast, let's do 10 and click OK. So we have something like this. So you can click and lock them in place also. So let's import the second model, the second version of this model. So this is love. This is sweet actually. I love this image. The image is even clean. So everything is linked in the description, by the way, so you can download them from there for free. So I have a lot more in 1000 PNG black model package. You can check the link in the description if you want to purchase it. It's just 1000 naira. So you can purchase it. I have a lot of crisp and high quality PNG models in there, so you can check it out. So here is our model. Just click OK. So let's have it. So let's put them here, but then we want them to go to the back. We need to send them to the back so that they don't disturb these people at the front here. So how do you send them to the back? Click on it, go to where you manage your layer. This is the layer. If you turn this eye off, you know that you have selected it, and you can even see this blue line for you to know that you have selected it. So now if you click on this guy, it shrinks. You drop it. Okay, by the way, I'm using mouse. I have an OTG device that helps me to connect my mouse to my smartphone. So if you want to check out my workspace, you can check the community post that I posted. You see my mini workspace, my phone, my keyboard, and my mouse. You see how I do my things, for me to make sure that you are seeing what I'm doing and you are getting what I'm doing. So if you click it, it shrinks. If you click and hold, I'm not saying you should just click and drop. If you click and drop, you see it's moving. But if you click and hold, you have something like this. Then you can move behind this guy here. So you have something like this. So you are still clicking on it. So let's go to opacity. Opacity, we want to decrease the opacity. So let's do So let's do 30. So we have something like this. So let's drop them here like this. So let's go to color filter. So let's decrease the saturation a bit like this. Then we can decrease the brightness by 4. Let's do 4. Then the contrast, you can give the contrast, just be looking at what you are doing. So let's give it 10. I think it's okay like this. So we have something like this. So let's go back to where we manage our layers and lock it in place so that we don't mistakenly move it from where we placed it. So let's import the third model. All these images I'm just using them. You might want to use just one image. It's your choice actually. You might want to use just one image. So go to import and import the third image. So here's the third image. Okay, so let's click OK. So we have something like this. This picture is actually fine. I love it. That's why I'm using it actually. So let me just drop it here first while I go to color filters. So let's go to color filters. Let's change the hue to something like this. 18 is fine. Then don't let us tamper with the saturation. Let's just increase the contrast a bit, maybe by 9. And 9 is fine. So let's click OK. Then let's change the opacity. Let's decrease it like this. Yeah, I think 45 is cool. So now we want to bring it back behind this flower. So I want to decrease it a bit. Let me use the relative size position. Let me use 44. Okay, so go to where you manage your layer and bring it behind this couch here. So we have something like this. Let me decrease it a bit. So I want to put it here. I think it's fine here. Yes. So let me take it back to this guy. Yes, I think it's fine like this. So what I want to do now is to lock it in place also. So I'll lock it in place. So we have something like this. So the next thing I want to import is the big art, the big 3D art. So go to import and import it. So I have the big art here. Wow, big art, yeah. So we have something like this. So I want to decrease it like this, then rotate it a bit like this. You can either rotate from here, you can undo from here. Actually, I wanted to undo so that I can show you where else you can rotate an object. So if you want to undo what you've done, you can go to this button, click this one, and you undo whatever process you've processed. So you have something like this. You can go to this third guy here while you are still clicking on your object. Go to this third guy here and go to rotate. So you can then rotate either right or left like this. So we have something like this. So you can drop it here. So let me change the size. So let me change the size to something like this. Yeah, I think something like this is actually fine. So I want to drop it here. So the next thing I want to do is to import my gift box here. But before that, I want to click on this big love and go to color filters so that we can blend it with the background also. So I want to increase the hue. So let me give the hue like 22 and give the brightness. Let me increase the brightness by, it's too much. Make sure you are checking what you are doing here. So let me give it 19, and the contrast, let me give it like 20. So I think it's cool like this. So we have something like this. Let me bring it down a bit. So we have something like this. So the next thing I want to import is the gift box. So I want to import the gift box. So I have the gift box here. Let me crop it. Yes. So click OK. Then you can decrease it like this. Decrease it and place it somewhere around here. Then let's go to color filters again so that we can make sure we are blending it very well. So let's look at what you are doing. So I think let me do 15 is fine by me. Saturation, let me do 10, and let me decrease the brightness a bit. 13 is fine, and is 13 fine? It's too bright. Let me decrease it. 34 is fine. Yeah, I guess it's cool like this. So let me increase the saturation a bit. Yeah, I think it's fine like this. So click OK. But for the fact that this thing is standing on the big art, it needs a shadow. So let's go to this third guy. Make sure you're still clicking on the objects. So let's go to shadow here and enable the shadow. So go to color and input the color code A14236. So click OK. So we need to decrease the transparency because you cannot use the old E. So decrease the transparency by 148. So as I'm moving this slider, you notice these figures here, it changes. So let's do 148. 148 is better. So the blur radius, you can still leave it at 10. The X value, you can change it to 16 so that look at what you are doing. You can see as it is going. If you are moving too far, it goes too far. So but let's do 16. 16 is fine. And the offset Y, let's do 11. 11 is fine. And let's click OK. You can see the difference. You can see we have something like this here. So it's cool. So let's go to where we manage our layers and lock them both in place like this. So the next thing we want to import is the another PNG that is here. So just go to import and import it. Yeah, here's another element just to make our design fun, just to make it fun and not to look boring. So let's import this. Let's decrease it like this. So we have something like this here. So let's go to color filter again as usual. So and change the saturation. Let's change the saturation to something like this. Yeah, I think it's fine. So then I think we should increase the we should decrease the brightness. Let's decrease the brightness by 11. Okay, I think this is better. So let's go to shadow again. Go to shadow, enable it, input the color code A14236. Okay, and let's decrease the transparency like this. You can still use 148 or 149 this time around. So click OK. Then leave the blur radius at 10. Let's change the X value 16. This one we can do 4. So we have something like it's floating. So I think it's better this way. So let's import another love element. So this is another love. I love this love because it's shining. It's a shining love. So let's just import it. So we're almost done. Can you see we're almost done? Once we are done with placement of this image and everything, it's just text and we are done. So let's place it here. Let's rotate it a bit. like this. So we have something like this here. So you know the next thing, color filter. Go to color filter. So let's change the hue to is this cool? Let's change it to 28 is fine. The saturation, let's give it like, hey, this is much. Okay, let's give it like 10. Let's increase the brightness a bit. Can give it like 43 or 44, it's fine. So then the contrast shouldn't be too much. Yeah, I think it's fine like this. Then let's go to shadow, enable it and input the color code F15815. You can experiment with the other colors, but I'm using this color so that it blends with my background. So if you are using another background, you don't need to use my value. So just make sure you use color that goes with the color of the element you are using, because you cannot have a red a red element and the shadow is blue. So it's not possible. So just make sure it blends with your eye and be creative about it. So let's decrease the transparency. Is it like 147? So then the X value, you can give it like 11 is okay. Just look at what you are doing here. You can see as you move it. So let's give this one like 16. 16 is fine. So we have something like this here. So which is cool. So let's lock them in place also. So now we want to do something before we move on to text. We want to do something. So go to where you manage your layer. You will see the gradient we created initially. You see it here. It's the first one we created. So click on this guy, and click on this guy. This guy means copy. You can either copy from here, or when you click on it, you see a copy icon here. Click on it, then copy. So whatever it is you copy, it goes up to your layer here. So then you'll be able to move whatever it is you copy. Whatever you copy is here. Can you see as I'm moving it? That is because we have increased it. So if you click on it, and go to relative size, you can bring it back like this. Can you see? It can be back like this. So this one that we copied, we want to drop it here. I want to increase it and drop it here to give me a different feel here. But I'm going to decrease the opacity. Go to opacity and decrease it like this. I just want it to give me a different feel here, and I'm copying it again. Then it gives me another feel here. It's not a must I see this guy's face, but for the fact that they are giving me another feel behind these other guys here, it's giving me joy. So if you feel the transparency, the opacity is too much, you can either increase or decrease, but I don't want it to be too much, so I'll drop it here like this. So we have something like this, and here we have something like this. So you can lock them in place. So we have something like this. So the next thing you want to do is to bring in I want to bring in my lower third. I call it lower third. That's actually what I usually save my stuff with, my handle. So I want to bring my handle, but before then I want to create a white shape here so that it can house my handles, my social media handles. So go to shape and let's create something here. So let's create something here. So I want to import my social media handle because I already exported it as PNG. If you want to know how to export as PNG, you can watch one of my previous videos. I've done it in one of my previous videos. So I want to import my social media handle. So here's my social media handles. So I have it here. So I can just bring it down like this and click OK. So I want to go to relative size, then increase it to 100. Then I want to bring it yeah, like this. So to make sure it is centralized, go to relative position and centralize it. So you have something like this. If you feel this thing you created to house it is not okay, go to where you manage your layer, lock this in place, click on this, then you'll be able to expand it a bit like this. Shouldn't be too much. So I have something like this. So the next thing you want to do, we are going for the text. So we want to import the love typography that I dropped in the description. So you want to import that. So here's the big love. So let's just click OK. So we have something like this. So what you want to do next is to go to where you manage your layer and bring it behind the images, behind this model. So we have something like this, but we need to decrease it. I think it's better this way. So the next thing I want to do is to write welcome to the. So go to text. This is the text. Click on text, then bring it here, double tap on it, then write whatever it is you want to write. So I have this here. So I want to change the size. So go to size and let's change the size to 16. Let's do 16. Yeah, 16 is fine. So let's change the font. So go to font. This is fonts. These are default fonts that came with your PixelLab. If you are just using PixelLab for the first time, these are fonts that came with your PixelLab. But if you want to use fonts that you installed yourself, you go to My Fonts. And if you don't know how to download and install fonts to PixelLab, you can watch the video that is showing at the top right corner of your screen. So it will teach you how to import your fonts, download and import your fonts rather. So type Poppins. And let's choose the medium version, the medium weight. So just click OK. So we have something like this. So go to spacing and increase it to 100. So then let's go to relative position and let's position it. The next thing we want to do is to go to color and let's do gradient. So click on this plus sign and let's change this slider. So bring it here, click and hold and bring it here, click and hold and bring it here, like this. So this is the first color. Click on this guy, then input the color code EF999-2D. Click OK, OK, OK. So go to the second one here, go to the color and input the color code as usual, FAED8C. Click OK, 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 OK. Then we have something like this. So the next thing we want to write is month of. So go to font, your text, then bring it here, double tap, then write month of, and just click OK. So let's change the size to 25 is okay. Let's go to font and change the font. Let's use Jagale medium. Jagale, let's use bold. Bold is better. So click on bold. So we have something like this here. So go to curve and let's increase the curve by 25% like this so that it fits. So we have something like this here. So let me decrease this a bit. So we have something like this. Okay, I want to click on this bring it here a bit like this. So you can just do your thing. Make sure you do and work with what works for you. It depends on your image. The image you use determines how big or how small whatever it is you are using will be. So let me have it this way. So I think it's fine. It's better like this. So let me go to relative position and make sure it is centralized. Then bring this one here like this. So we have something like this. So we are almost done. So the next thing I want to write February here. So before I do that, I want to bring this flower down a bit. It comes with the couch. So I'll click on this layer, then I'll click on this couch. So I can use the position tool here, increase the speed and bring it down a bit like this. So I brought it down a bit like this. Then this man too, I want to bring this man and the baby down a bit. So let me do it like this so that there is space and it's not choking. So something like this is cool like this. So now this I have you here, so which is better and spacious. So I love it this way. So the next thing I want to write, before I write it, I want to create a rectangle here. So go to shapes and decrease this a bit like this, the way you want it here. Set it the way you want it before you leave this space. So this is how I want it. This is how I want it. So I want to increase the corner radius a bit. So the corner radius like this. Then I do OK. So this is it. So the next thing I want to do, I want to go to shape again, but this time I want to choose this rectangle. Then I'll click OK. So what I want to do, I want to bring it here. Then I want to make it small so that it to seem like that rectangle is pointing, something like this. So I have something like this, but then I want to go to where I manage my layer. I want to go to this select button where you can select one or more layers. So click on select, then you can click on this rectangle and on this triangle and the rectangle you just created. Then go to this match tool where you can match them together and give them the same color. Click on it and match them together, so you are giving them the same color. So this is it. You can move them together. So I want to go to color, enable the color and click on this gradient. Then you can choose this color. So you have something like this. So I want to drop it here like this. So I want to go to shadow, enable the shadow. So go to color and input the color code 7C0710. Click OK. Okay. So let's decrease the transparency by 41. I think 41 is really cool. So let's offset it and let's leave the blur radius at 8. So let's offset it by 7. 7 will be fine, I'm very sure. I don't want it to be too much. So I think it's better. So go to inner shadow, enable it, go to color and let's input the color code FFFDE1. click check mark, okay, and let's decrease the transparency by maybe 235 is okay. So now let's decrease the blur radius by 4. I guess it's okay. So we have something like this. So you can now go to text, click on text, double tap, and let's write February. Click OK. Then let's change the font. Let's change it to Poppins medium. Then you can decrease this like this and go to spacing. Then let's space it like this. So we have something like this here. So you can use the position tool. If you feel your hand cannot move that tiny thing, you can go to position and use the position tool. So you click on this guy again and let's duplicate it, which is copy. So but this time around we want to rotate it like this so that we can make use of it here. So I want to cover this guy eyes. Come on, close your eyes. So now we want to write Happy New Month. You can click on this guy and come to text, because if you are on objects panel, even if you click on the text, you will not be able to see any other tool to move it. So you have to come to this text panel, then you copy it, then you bring it here, then double tap on it and write whatever it is you want to write, but I'm writing Happy New Month. So click on it, then go back to spacing. If you remember we added spacing, then you can reset the spacing here, then bring it here like this. You can choose to decrease the size. If 15 is too much, you can give it 14 to fit in. So we have something like this. So the next thing I want to add is my logo. So let me import my logo. Here is my logo. So I'll just go to relative size, then I can decrease it like this and bring it here. If it's too big, I can go back and maybe use 6. 6 is fine, definitely. So I can bring it here. So then you can look at your design very well. Whatever it is you feel you want to adjust, you adjust it before you export. And before you export, make sure you go to this guy here. This is where you can save as projects. That is, maybe you are not done, or probably the client or you might want to come back and make any changes. This is saving as a project. So if you click on this guy and just write month of love and click OK. So you have saved it. So just check if there's any typographical error, then you check. If there's anything you feel you want to place, you place it, and feel free to add anything, but don't make it too choking. So we are done with the design. The last thing I want to add is a texture, because if you look at this one, you can see it's kind of popping and it has this dot texture. So I'm going to import the texture now. So here is the texture. Let me click on this one by one. I have it like this. Go to relative size, then increase it to 100. So the next thing you want to do, let's increase it a bit like this. So go to erase color and enable it. Just click OK here. So go to color, enable it. You see this red, you can actually leave it at red, then go to opacity and decrease the opacity. You have something like this. You have a difference. You have this feel of these dots there. you can still decrease the opacity in order not to be too much, and you can go to color and change the color to something else. Can you see when I change it, it changed to something else? So that's another feel you can give your design. So once you are done, you can export it as image. I will show you how to export as image now. But then if you want to make it as pop as this one, changing the contrast, changing everything to make it pop like this in Adobe Lightroom Mobile. I'm going to upload another video before on the 1st. So you'll be able to learn how to make it as pop as this and not as basic as this. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification to be notified when I upload the video, because a lot of clients will tell you, make it pop now. The design is fine, but I want it to be more pop. That is because you've not added this texture, you've not added this popping feels. So then I will upload the video on or before on the 1st, so that you know how to make your design pop with different effects using Adobe Lightroom Mobile. So let's export this one as an image. Go to this save button again, go to save as image. So you don't need to do anything here because you already set whatever it is wanted to set at the beginning of this design. So just go to save to gallery. So that's it, guys. If you want to stay updated with the latest smartphone graphic design tips and tricks, I invite you to subscribe to this channel and click on the notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video. Keep nurturing your creativity and let's continue this artistic journey together. Until next time, stay creative.